Welcome back, viewers of MACTFORDEDGE. I'm glad to see you all back here at this channel. Got a little bit of a modification that I'm going to be working on, and I generally don't do mods on my cars, but sometimes you think about it and you decide what is the best for driving safety and things like that. And I decided that since Lulubelle, my 2011 Ford Edge, is basically, it's a limited, but whoever bought it did not have the optional HID lighting system installed on it. So it's just a halogen headlight system. It does have the shutters and everything else. It just has halogen bulbs in it. So I thought, okay, I've been, of course, on MACTFORDEDGE, on, of course, Facebook and a few other places, and I decided that, you know, they convinced me that maybe this might be a good alternative to a little more lighting. So I went ahead and I called Dan at Daytime Brightlites, and I talked to him for about a half an hour, and I ultimately ended up with a 5K HID set here, and they're plug and play, and this is what all comes in the box, and I was going to show it all to you. This has, of course, looks like 2, 4, 6 zip ties that comes with this wiring harness here. And these, of course, are the resistors on it. Now, this wiring harness I don't necessarily have to use. Now, the way it was explained to me, and according to the directions that I have here, is that one, these are 50-watt resistors here, I guess, on here. So one, when you do mount them, you don't want to put them near anything that can melt, because they do get hot. So you want to make sure that these things are basically got a lot of airflow and space around them. But it is a wiring harness that, should you take and just not use this, install the plug and play system that he has, and if there is flickering or blinking in your lighting system, you are probably from Canada and have a Canadian version. Believe it or not, for what everything I found, this harness is important to stop that. It's due to the law in Canada where you have to have your lights on all the time or something like that, and this how the system handles it. But anyway, he did send this to me just in case as part of the kit, that I need to do this in case I do get flickering, and this wiring harness will stop the flickering part of it. And as you can see, it's pretty much a plug and play. You got the connectors, and there's 2 of them there, of course, and then of course you have, you know, silicone weather protection here, bands around your connectors, which is really good. I don't know if you can see those there, but they're nice and water airtight type seals on here on these connections. But this is your wiring harness that you're going to deal with. Now, of course, you got the ballasts and everything. I'm only going to open up one because, quite frankly, they're both the same. And we'll go ahead and open it up and see what we have in here. Now, as far as that goes, you have basically one small screw, and then a nut and a washer, and another larger bolt here that comes with the kit. I haven't quite read it. This is your bracket that you get with it. Now, when you install the ballast, if you don't have a Ford Edge with HID lighting, it's going to be an empty slot, and it's going to be a rectangular slot that this ballast here does fit into. Okay, so this thing fits right in there, and what it does is it seats right up on the side of the light. I think it's at this angle, and then what you do is you take this bracket, of course, I forget how it goes, I had it on here one time, but you take and hook this thing up, and it goes right across just like so. There we go, got it figured out. Reason you can tell is there's a little indentation right here, and this bracket will slide right into that indentation, and then it will line up, as you can see with this tab, where you can put the screw in here that you have, which is a real tiny set screw that you got right in this package, and you can hook that right up right in there. And of course, with this thing hooked on like so, it's going to have your ballast seated in there securely so it doesn't move. The next part on here that we have is, of course, some voltage transformers, I guess, as you could say they are. And one thing that is strikingly shocking, really, I shouldn't say shocking, but you know what? You really don't want to take and mess with these things too terribly much, being it puts out a voltage of 23,000 volts. So don't work on it when it's plugged in, folks. Might be a better choice on the safety side. But anyway, these are, of course, the Daytime Brightlight kit that I have here. And essentially, all it is plug and play, folks. You take and you connect your wiring to your bulbs, hook it up, plug it in, of course, into your set connectors, and I'll go through the install when we go ahead and actually install it. But this is just basically a review of the parts here, and basically what it's like. Professionally done, good strain relief on the connectors. Every connector has a strain relief on it all the way through. Fairly heavy gauge wiring as far as what we're working with, and all the connectors, of course, have the weather sealant silicone gaskets on here. So overall, I would say, as far as electrical wiring kits, plug and play, this kit has some pretty good quality to it. I've not seen a lot of them, but the unit's heavy, solid, compact, and of course looks like it is assembled and of course manufactured with some quality to it. So that being said, that is the part here that I am going to be installing, and there's two of those that go in there. Now the other thing that you do get with this, of course, is the light. Okay, and as you can see, everything plugs it directly into it. You got the light right here, and you just take and unscrew this here like so, and then of course you see the light. Now, as far as anything else goes, I would definitely recommend not touching the bulbs. You don't want to give them oils or anything else on here. And this plastic piece does come off too, so that you can seat that into your light socket, and of course only takes like 1/8 of a turn. But it does come this way shipped, so that it protects the bulb. And of course, this is the 5K version of everything in here. It's what they call Xeon Supervision HID headlamp, and of course part of the HID conversion kit. Now it is as they say, a 906 5K. Now I'm not sure what the OEM has in the Ford Edge that my wife drives, but I did a comparison video that you'll see here after this review, and you can see what comparison it is before and after. Now I do compare the halogen system to the HID OEM system, and then when I'm done, I'm going to compare the Daytime Brightlights kit to the OEM HID system, and we'll see if there's any difference in lighting and of course disbursement and everything else. But essentially you got the rubber grommet, and of course when you install it, I'll go over the install process. But overall, I'm still impressed, wiring and everything else. One note to mention, it doesn't really say on the wiring which way to plug everything in. It's sort of a hit and miss, but hey, you got a 50-50 chance, right? Because both ways it can plug in. So if you plug it in and test it, if it don't work, by all means unplug it and replug it in the other way, 180-degree switch, and then turn it on, and if it works, you're good. I would recommend using a little marking pencil to indicate which side matches up to which, so that way when you unplug it, you don't have to guess after that point. So that's what I will probably show in my video. But overall, good product here that I'm seeing. If it works the same way it looks, then we got a great system here, folks. And I can't wait to get it installed and get some more light, because driving at night like I do, I need a lot of light. All those Bambis out there trying to play dodgeball with me and everything. So we want to make sure that we do have, of course, everything going. Now, it does bring the kit instructions here, and it's really, you know, I can't say that it's too hard of a thing to do. He has included a actual picture of how the everything should be wired up. So if you're unsure, you got an actual photograph of it wired up, which is quite good actually. Nothing like a good visual on that aspect. And then of course this product is warranted for 2 years, full replacement, I guess. So if something breaks, all you have to do is get a hold of him and he will ship you the replacement part, whatever it may be. So, you know, it's a no-brainer. I mean, 2 years, light bulb burns out, boom, you get another light bulb. You already paid for it. So, you know, your warranty factor on that. Now, I did pay $99 for the kit and $9 shipping. Okay, yes, I know you can get them cheaper on eBay. I know you can do all this other stuff. But you know what? Small businessman trying to make a good product, I guess I'm going to support him in that aspect, and of course carry on with this, because one, if you ever talk to the man, he is very confident about what he is selling, and of course does a good job. But essentially in 9 steps you can install this thing. Okay, he has everything explicitly written in here. It's not hard. For those you can't really follow the instructions, of course I will be putting a video out showing you how to do it. And you know, sometimes, you know, we all learn differently. Sometimes we have to read a book to learn. Sometimes we have to see how to do things. Everyone learns differently, folks. So no fault in anybody who looks at instructions and can't figure it out. And there's no fault in somebody that can read instructions and figure it out. Everybody's different. So that's why I make the videos, because primarily most of humanity learns by seeing. So you know, that's why videos are so popular in this day and age, because we all learn from that visual reference. But we do need to still read the book. Okay, RTB, folks, word of the day, RTB. It always works out whenever you're putting together doll houses for your daughter or working on your car. You still need the RTB. But this is it, folks. This is the, of course, the Daytime Brightlites that I'm going to be installing on my 2011 Ford Edge. So stay tuned here and watch this demonstration video of comparison of the lights while driving with them, and also at a static display. And then we'll come back after the install and do another video showing the improvement. This is MACT, and every day is a great day when both feet hit the floor. So every one of you have a great day. And by all means, remember to like this video and also subscribe to MACTFORDEDGE at Facebook. We also have all my first posting videos posted on the Facebook page first, and then may subsequently bleed out to other pages. But you will find it first on YouTube, on MACTFORDEDGE, and my Facebook at MACTFORDEDGE of the same name. So look forward to talking to y'all, and by all means feel free to make comments and of course ask questions, because we have a good bunch of knowledgeable people on the Facebook page that can definitely help you out with any questions or concerns that you may have. Welcome to MACTFORDEDGE, and we're going to test some lights here tonight and see exactly what kind of lighting we have with the car on my right hand side here is the blueberry, which is the Ford Edge Limited with the HID lighting. Okay? And then on the left side here, I'll turn that one on first. That is the Ford Edge Limited with halogen lights. So we're going to check and compare both of these together to see which one has the better lighting system. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn the lights on and see what we have. We're going to test the lighting with the halogen first, and this is the car that will be receiving the Daytime Brightlight kit that I have ordered. So we're going to go ahead and see what we got. And this, of course, is the halogen lighting. Now you can see the halogen lighting has that yellow tint to it. Not quite as a light. It's not a real bright light as far as a white color. So what I'm going to do is turn on the factory OEM HID lighting and compare that to what we have as far as this halogen lighting. Now we're going to go ahead and turn this on and see what we've got. There you can see the color contrast. As you can see, the coloring of the lighting is definitely a whiter or bluish color compared, and I can actually see the color difference between the lighting here when I'm looking at it, because this light here is not as bright and brilliant as what we have. Now they both have the DRL lights or whatever they are down below, but the halogen is definitely on this side, on this left-hand side, whereas these are the OEM HID lighting. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off the other car with the halogen lighting to make sure we got the comparison on that setup. Now, as you can see, just as a comparison, I will go ahead and we'll put the high beams on to see what we got for high beams. And there you go, a very widespread pattern with our high beams on the HID OEM installed lights on this Ford Edge. Now we're going to go ahead and turn this one off and we'll compare the high beams with the halogen lights to make sure that we have the actual setup. So we're going to turn these lights on for the halogens, and you can see that yellow difference. And now we're going to turn the bright lights on, and again you see that yellow, it's spread out, it's not as intense. So what we're going to do now is I will take both cars on a road trip and we will compare the nighttime driving situation with these using my GoPro. And we'll go ahead for a short drive through the neighborhood here to see what we can see between the two differences of the lighting systems. And then once I get them installed, we will go ahead and of course check out the lighting to see what the results and differences are. Well folks, we're going to go ahead and go for a drive, and what I'm actually hoping is that the KD Link's dash cam that I have will also pick up my voice and everything that I'm doing here. And I'll compare the GoPro video to this KD Link's dash cam, but for continuity's sake I'm going to use the GoPro, but because I just don't want to move the KD Links from my car to the other. It's a simple process, but I just don't feel like doing it. I guess I'm lazy. But we're going to go ahead and go for a short trip that I've driven before, and we're going to see what kind of lighting we got going on here and see what we can actually get out of here if I don't hit this car behind me. And we'll go ahead and go on a trip here, and we just go down the road, and of course we're going to see what we can see with this GoPro. This is a route that I've taken many times, so we can see what kind of lighting we get here when we get to some darker areas of the streets here that don't have many street lights. But again, this Daytime Brightlites kit I bought, I did talk to Dan, the owner of the company that sells them, and he's very confident in his demeanor and everything, and talking about the lights, and he stands behind what he sells, and of course fully believes in it. So in the conversation I had with him for about 30 minutes, you know, basically I decided to upgrade my lighting. Never really thought about doing mods to my cars before, because it is a work car, but I just wanted to take and get more light, because I do drive a lot in the nighttime, and especially winter times, and I just like to be able to see better. A lot of deer out here to hit, so we want to make sure we avoid that. But as you can see, this is the lighting system with the halogen bulbs in this 2011 Ford Edge that I do call Lulu Bell, and it is my work car, and we're going to go ahead, go do our little loop here all the way around, and then we will get into the other 2011 Ford Edge Limited with the other 2011 Ford Edge has the factory OEM HID lighting system. So we're just going through here, a little bit of city lighting and everything else. Probably won't tell too much on the lighting systems, but we're going to go ahead and do this loop, and then we'll go and pick up the other Ford Edge. Now, as far as this modification goes with the HID system, I am not entirely sure how it's all going to work out, folks. I've never done the electrical on it, but it does look pretty simple. Seems to be straightforward kit, a lot of plug and play in there. I will mention that there is a harness that goes with it, and I'll do that, you know, in my review also after this video. But I will review the product and note that it does come with a harness, and from what I understand, it's mostly because of folks that have to live in Canada and how their lighting system is supposed to work with their daytime running lights. And if you get a flicker in your lighting system, then you need to take a step backwards, I guess is better choices of words probably, but you need to go unhook things and plug that wiring harness in there, because it has some sort of resistor to it. So you got to make sure that you do hook up that wiring harness and make sure your lights work first. If there's no flicker and they're not blinking or anything else staying steady and you don't have any issues, then you don't need to use the wiring harness. But he includes that in the kit just in case you have a problem, and make sure that there's no issues. I don't expect to have a flicker, but hey, you know, if I do, I'll go ahead and use it. Now, we're going to go ahead and give this all a test. So we have our Daytime Brightlites, and we will, of course, make sure that we got everything hooked up and running, because I will definitely give them the ultimate test with the hours that I drive. But I do like the system so far. From what I've seen, it looks like it's professionally assembled. The weight and everything seems decent, so I'll go over that in the review. This is MACT, and every day is a great day when both feet hit the floor. So every one of you have a great day, and by all means remember to like this video, and also subscribe to MACTFORDEDGE at Facebook. We also have all my first posting videos posted on the Facebook page first, and then may subsequently bleed out to other pages. But you will find it first on YouTube, on MACTFORDEDGE, and my Facebook at MACTFORDEDGE of the same name. So look forward to talking to you all, and by all means feel free to make comments and of course ask questions, because we have a good bunch of knowledgeable people on the Facebook page that can definitely help you out with any questions or concerns that you may have.
Thank you for watching. And remember to like my videos and subscribe to MACT. This is a Mercy Girl production.